for what was to come. And this meant Hammond and I had some time to indulge in a spot of childish point scoring.
Which one of these is going to be the fastest round this track? This?
Yeah. Apart from this one, which will be faster.
It won't. Which one do you think will be the fastest?
This one.
This one?
So Porsche think the Porsche will be fastest, McLaren say the McLaren.
How much is it if I wanted to buy one?
I think one was sold in an auction for 1.8 million.
$1.8 million. Hammond, how much is yours?
838 euros.
1,000, I'm guessing.
Yes, it is 1,000, yeah.
Why has your car got a number on the side?
It's the Weissach edition, this one. You also get titanium chassis bolts.
Stupid. Stupid.
For just an extra £60,000. And a carbon fibre bonnet strut. Look at that. How much does that save? About 100 grams. Right there. 100 grams.
Has the McLaren got a carbon fibre bonnet strut?
Doesn't need one.
No, because my bonnet doesn't go up because it'll never break down.
And it's got silly doors. Proper doors, silly doors.
Mine does 34 miles to the gallon.
It does 94.
94 miles to the gallon.
94 mpg.
Just remind me, Porsche's owned by...
That'll be Volkswagen.
Well?
This is rubbish.
I was just thinking exactly the same about this.
Were you?
This was boring me to death. It was like being stuck in a Victorian woman's novel.
James had chosen the Rolls-Royce Dawn, a new two-door drop-head version of the Ghost. And I'd be in the DB11, the latest in a long line of elegant and beautiful Aston Martin Grand Tourers.
Even its door mirrors are beautiful. Its wheels are beautiful. This is one of the most beautiful cars I've ever seen.
Shame it's brown.
It isn't brown.
Yes, it is.
It isn't brown, it's sunset orange.
It's not brown in the way that my car is green. It's brown.
Your car is a convertible BMW 7 Series.
No, it isn't.
But is it a 7 Series underneath?
Well, the bits of the floor pan
There
are.
you go. £265,000 for a convertible 7 Series.
It isn't.
If you're going to drive across Italy, which we're going to do, taking in some culture, that's what you need.
A brown car.
It isn't brown.
It's brown.
Look, let's not bicker. Actually, on this occasion, let's get on. We are both going to drive across what is, I think, our favourite country in the world, enjoy some culture, enjoy some fine wine, some food, some art. What was that?
Sorry I'm late.
Well, we didn't know you were coming.
We rather hoped you were.
Well, I am, and look at the car I brought. Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat. 707 American horsepower and enough torque to pull that old building down. Just
That old building is a... Oh, well, never mind.
Hammond, Tuscany, not really the home of the muscle car.
yeah, you see, I was worried you two were going to be all boring and serious. And I am here to make sure this trip is fun, because don't tell me the original Grand Tour wasn't fun. It was like an 18th century cannonball run, only with old-fashioned morphine instead of cocaine. This is going to be brilliant.
What's with your advertising?
Well, because the Americans used to do the Grand Tour, and they used to get sponsors to help cover the costs. So I've got myself some
What,
sponsorship.
Bobby's, what is a grit?
Isn't it a bit left over after coffee or potatoes?
I don't know.
It's what's there.
Rodeo Lubentune.
Yep. Look at that. The thing is, people will look at me in that and know I am on a Grand Tour. They'll just say, what are these two old farts doing?
Seriously,
You have made no effort. You haven't got into the mood for this.
art, music, culture.
Refinement.
Yes. Is this something to do with you?
Yes, they're here. These are my spare tyres. Because on a trip like this, in a car with that much power and that much torque, I'm going to get through some tyres.
Tree.
Yeah. That lot was not going to fit in the boot or trunk, was it? That is luxury. That is Grand Touring.
Reluctantly, we agreed to let our vulgar colleague...
This is it, the latest version of the best-selling two-seater roadster of all time. And it's easy to see why. Peppy little engine at the front, 2 seats in the open air in the middle, rear-wheel drive. It's the perfect sports car recipe. But layered on top of that, in this new version, you get air conditioning, heated seats, lane departure assist, cruise control, rain-sensing wipers, dusk-sensing headlamps. You just can't do any better.
Well, you can actually, because all of those luxury items you're mentioning there, they just add weight and they mean it isn't a true sports car anymore.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. Colin Chapman, he was the bloke who founded Lotus. He said the ethos of a sports car is simplify and add lightness. He didn't say you simplify and add electric windows.
Yep, and then he gave all his money away to a drug dealer called John DeLorean.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is what it's actually about. This is called the Zenos. You get 4 wheels, you get somewhere to sit, you get an engine, and that's it. It's a sports car.
Yeah. What do you do if it rains?
Well, you'd get wet.
What if you want to listen to the radio?
Why would I want to listen to the radio round here?
Does it have a heater?
Nope.
Has it got windows?
Look, if you buy a football boot, you don't expect it to be usable as a ballet shoe, do you?
But Mazda has invented a football boot that you can wear to the opera.
Look, I can guarantee that if you wear that shoe to the opera house, it isn't...
At this point, the director said he'd heard enough about shoes for one day and told us to go for a drive.
Right, now I'm away from Hammond's luxury sports car resort. Let me tell you a little bit about this remarkable car. It's powered by the 2-litre turbocharged engine from the Ford Focus ST, giving 250 horsepower. That's mounted in the middle, right behind my head there, driving the rear wheels through a no-nonsense, old-school 6-speed gearbox. Now, 250 horsepower doesn't sound like a huge amount in the modern world, but this car, made with an aluminium spine and composite tub and all the rest of it, weighs less than 3/4 of a ton, so it is genuinely quick. Look, I mean, whoa! Yeah! Wait. It makes the noise of some futuristic propulsion system powered by antimatter. Yes, electrifying.
James comes from a world where he wants his phone and his camera separate, and I can keep a diary. This Mazda is a smartphone. It does everything. It looks brilliant. It will be endlessly reliable. It's fast. It's got speakers in the headrests, and it handles well. And you can get an MX-5 from 18,500. James's car starts at 33, and you don't even get doors. My shed has got doors. I furnish my cats with doors. You need doors. I bet he's been shaken to death in that thing.
I bet Hammond thinks I'm being shaken to death in here, but actually he's wrong, because this isn't like a BAC mono or a radical. It is obviously very much a car for taking on the track, but it's been tuned for use on the road. It's quite supple. See, look, bump, it's all right. I'm very relaxed. Eventually, we pulled over for a cup of coffee and a bit more arguing about doors. Just because they had them in the 12th century on cathedrals, whatever, doesn't mean you have to have them now. Don't be a slave to convention.
People had eyelids in the 12th century, and nobody's deciding, let's get rid of those, they're old hat. Oh no, I've got all dust in my eyes and I can't sleep.
Yeah, but that's completely facile, Hammond. You know exactly what I mean. The
Wait,
door... I mean, Reaver speedboats don't have doors. You don't say I'm not...
This is lovely, isn't it?
What are you doing here?
Well, word reached me that you two were talking rubbish.
What do you mean, rubbish?
Well, if you want the best sports car, you don't want a Mazda or a Zenos. You want...
Oh, God, he's brought an Alfa Romeo.
Yes, of course I have. Alfa Romeo 4C Spyder.
This is what I'm talking about. A symphony in carbon fibre. Balance personified. The Graduate updated. A mini Ferrari, as cute as a bunny rabbit with the greatest badge in the history of motor.
How much is it?
You know perfectly well how much it is.
Yeah, we've forgotten.
Money is vulgar. You can't put a price on something as exquisite as that.
Yeah, but Alfa Romeo did put a price on it, didn't they? And what was it?
£60,000.
So you could have both of our cars and everything you see in the back of a shot here for the price of one of these Alfa Romeo.
I know,
right?
it is extraordinary value for money.
It's too far from outside to
It's
inside.
miles.
Yes, thick sills,
Here we go.
the strength.
Look
It
at
is.
this. Rotary heater knobs.
Wow, it's like being in the 1970s.
Yeah, it is actually.
It's handbrake. Look at that. That's actually, is that fixed on or has that come off?
Alfa Romeo, purveyors of disappointment for nearly 3 decades.
Look at this. Classy.
Oh,
Yeah? Feel the quality
let me
in
feel
that.
that. £60,000.
And this. So that's the noise you want to hear.
If you ever buy a new item of clothing, never show it to these two, because what are you wearing that jacket for? It makes you look like a German game chain host.
That's satisfying.
Why are you wearing that jacket?
Because I was at a party in India last night, and I've hurried over here.
Why did you go to the party dressed as a German game show host?
Soon I grew weary of their abuse. This is the racetrack we selected. It's just 60 miles from Calais and I arrived bright and early.
This is a Maserati Biturbo. First car in the world to be fitted with 2 turbochargers. And this particular example is the sought-after S model, and it's only done 24,000 miles. And yet, despite that, all I paid for it was £7,950. So you get all this glamour, all this power, all that badge, for less than you pay in the UK for a 6-year-old Toyota Pius. Oh. Why has Richard Hammond arrived in a Ford Cortina? Oh, no, wait, it isn't a Ford Cortina. It's another Biturbo.
No, this is the 430.
It isn't.
It is.
Biturbo.
This isn't a biturbo.
It is.
That's a biturbo.
They were... Hammond, I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but the Ghibli, the Racing, the Carif, the Chamal, the 222 and the 430, they were all the same car. They haven't got any money. They just changed the name badge on the back. These are the same car. Yours is very ugly, but it's the same car.
I dispute that. This is not ugly. This is elegant. This is Italian style.
It isn't.
That is a
Mine
fabulous
is
looking thing. Let's have a look at this. And what have you got? It's a bit gaudy, mate.
You want to hear this baby fire up?
Get out! Save yourself!
Yes! Feel the power of that!
Have you seen all this? There's no other word for it. Oil.
Yeah, that... Yeah.
Yeah.
Happily, before any more could flood out, James arrived.
Have you ever seen a more ungainly looking machine? What's the matter? Is your door broken?
No, I'm broken. Can you hold the door for me? Thank you. Behold, the Maserati Zagato Spyder.
No, Biturbo, mate.
No, it's a Zagato
It is
Spyder.
all Biturbos. See, I think this was designed when it was owned by Citroën, which was bankrupt at the time. Then there was some guy in America who had a bit of Maserati. And then I think the Italian government or Fiat, they all sort of had bits of it.
Right.
And they just ran around going, we made a new car, look. And it was exactly the same as the last car, just had a new name. Excuse me, James. So, I just want to see just... Oh, you've got like 2-tone leather. But why have you got an automatic?
I've bust my arm. That's why it took a long time to get out.
You really broken your arm?
Which arm have you broken?
It has made me murderously bad-tempered and intolerant of your fatuousness.
Have you
both of
seriously
you.
broken your arm?
Well, it's fractured quite badly. Don't touch it.
How did you break
I
it?
fell over.
Anyway, that's why you got an automatic?
Yes.
Is that roof electric?
No.
Hang on, no, there's a little button on the front.
Oh, right, brilliant. So it is manual.
Yes.
Anyway, we must get off. Come on, let's drive on.
Can you put the roof back up for me?
No, I'm not doing that.
we decided first of all to have a drag race.
But then, guess what?
The problem is that a bare-bones Bentley costs £160,000. And for £12,000 less than that, you can have this. An all singing, all dancing, everything fitted as standard 5-litre supercharged Range Rover.
Or, for £120,000 less than that, you can have this, the new Jaguar F-Pace. And it's not like this thing is a garden shed, it's got loads of clever stuff on it. So if you're coming back from the shops with your arms full of heavy bags, you can open the boot with your foot.
Yeah, but I can do that with a Range Rover.
Yes, but it's £120,000 more, and you don't get one of these. Look.
What is it?
It's a waterproof, go-anywhere bracelet that you use to lock and unlock it and start the engine, so you don't need to carry keys in your pocket.
That's actually quite a good idea, isn't it?
I know, it's
How do you
brilliant.
charge it up?
I don't know. Maybe it's like one of those watches.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
Puff Daddy is arriving.
I think he's wearing a chain. You know, that thing costs 4 times more than the Jag, and it's not like the badges are that different, is it?
That Jag is a car. This is more of a statement. This is a new way of understanding the condition of being human. It is the last word in luxury.
It's a very expensive statement, though, isn't it? I mean, if you've got the
Yes.
money to buy that, you could buy the Jag and still have £130,000 to spend on a PR agent to put you on breakfast TV talking about how great you are.
It cost £130,000 more for a reason. Jags are for deluded middle-aged men who entertain tragic fantasies about being Lotharios. I know, I've had 4 of them.
about brands with delusion, hello, Bentley, that's what it is.
Guys,
What?
we are not going to sort this out in a car park. We need to go for a drive, and I have worked out a route on this map here, okay? We are in the village of Vank, and we'll go from Vank to Kissing, then on to Petting, then this place, and then Wedding.
So, Vank, kissing, petting, f***ing, wedding.
Yes. It'll be a journey through life without leaving Central Europe.
Yeah, it will. Let's do it.
Very excited, we set off on what the Germans call